Good evening, fair viewers. Thank you for joining me into this excursion into finding out what my personality type is. Okay, I gotta take this helmet off because it is still very, very oily. I got this, I think it was like the birthday before last. One of my friends was like, hey, I didn't know what to get you, so here's a freaking Knight's helmet. Yeah, I needed to start off. I just felt the need to start off this live stream, quirkily, I guess. How you guys doing? Alrighty. I don't think I got all the oil off. Ugh. It's like metal oil that's like all over my face right now. You guys can hear me okay, right? Alright, let's see what we got here. That's probably the most energetic and enthusiastic I'm going to be throughout this entire live stream because I'm really tired. I just started a new job and I work Monday through Friday and I got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So I haven't had much sleep, so just bear with me. Thank you, Alex. Alex, what are you doing on here? It's funny. Alex is actually my best friend that you see in the chat, so. Terrible as always. Yep, I get it. Alright, so let me just get myself together and we'll get started with the test taking, finding out what my personality type is, all that stuff. So, it's probably not going to be too long of a stream. It's going to take like 4 tests and then I'm going to be like done. So, pretty straightforward. I need a sip of water. I'm also a tad bit nervous because I think there's like, how many of you? Like 14, 18 currently in the chat right now. So I haven't had that many people on one of my live streams before. I think the most I've ever had was like 3. So I'm a little nervous right now. Granted, I've done theater before back in high school and a little bit in college. Took some classes in college, so I'm kind of used to performing in front of people, but it's been a bit, so I'm still a bit like rusty, so you'll have to just, bear with me. Alright, so today we're going to start things off by taking, well, the free 16 personalities test. The one that's the most popular, the one that, if you've watched my previous videos, I've had like the most kind of issues with, but I just figured, fuck it, I'll just take it just to be on the record that I've taken this test in particular. And then the other 3 are like tests that you've probably never heard of. Well, maybe one you've probably heard of from like IDR Labs. So let me just get the jitters off me for a second. So you're keeping a sip of water count, Alex? You know what, just you being here, Alex, makes me feel a lot better. Yep. Sorry, I'm just reading y'all's comments right fast. Whoa, I got somebody in Greece, so I'm like international. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing your guys' predictions of what my personality might be. Don't worry, I'm not stalling. I'm just trying to collect myself before I get started, so. Athens, Greece, that's awesome. And France. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Egypt. Awesome. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna turn away from the chat screen. Not that I'm ignoring you guys, but want to get started on these because some of these are like 100 questions or so. So that's what you're here to see, and I'm here to deliver. So let's get going. All right, the free 16 personalities test from this site. Yeah. It's the one you see, I think, Frank James bring up a lot. So, all right, screw it. Let's go. Let's get started. You regularly make new friends. No, not really. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Yeah, I'd say I do. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. That depends on what they're crying about. So let's say neutral. You have to make a backup plan for a backup plan. Oh yeah, just like with my YouTubing channel. There's a channel for a channel for a channel. Backup, backup, backup. There's always a plan C to a plan B and a plan D to a plan C, you know, that sort of stuff. Usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Yeah, definitely. Don't worry, I'll pick up the pace on this because there's a lot of questions. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. Yeah. It mostly depends on the project, but generally I lean towards wanting to finish something before I move on to the next. So, you are very sentimental. A little bit. I'd say I'm a pretty sentimental person. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Yes, I have a freaking 2 whiteboards in my room currently and a calendar that I like to write a lot of stuff on. So I like to keep things organized. Now, am I going to follow through with whatever I have scheduled? I try to, but you know, life has other plans. And I also have ADHD, so... Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Yeah. I'm very sensitive to, like, criticism, so any small mistake I make, anything that I overlook or whatnot, I'm like, no, it's the end of the world. I fucked up. I can't do this anymore. I am going to amount to nothing in my life, so... Yeah. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. No, not really. I mean, there are a lot of interesting people I've met in my life, but because of my, you know, social anxiety, I haven't really been able to, like, you know, engage with them. Usually I would need, like, another person, like my best friend, to really start the discussion. Then I'll, like, hop in at some point, and then we'll get the ball rolling on knowing each other, so... Also, if you're wondering why my voice is a little raspy at times, I got COVID back in January, and my vocal cords haven't completely recovered yet. I went to the doctor, and they're suspecting I have, like, vocal polyps or something, so... I haven't seen, like, a specialist yet, so I'm just kind of guessing right now, but my general physician says they're suspecting that, so I don't know. That's the first burp, Alex, if you're keeping up. Alright, anyways, after that burp. You're not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. No, I'm very interested in interpretations and analysis. That's why I have my degree in film. That's why I do what I do. I like to comment on stuff. I like to criticize stuff. I like to voice my opinion, even though I'm a pretty shy person. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. It depends on the situation, but generally, yes. I like to use my head. Usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. I mean, I prefer to plan something out, but usually it never works out, so I usually have to wing it. But since the question says prefer, I guess technically yes, I would prefer to do it, even though it doesn't really end up that way. So you rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on the people you meet. No, I very much worry. I'm worrying right now. Just slobbering my words because I'm nervous. Yeah. You enjoy participating in group activities. It depends on what the group activity is and whether or not I know people in that group. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. Of course, I love Inception and other films of that nature. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I want to say yes, but I'm gonna have to go with neutral. I don't know. You're interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Well, if you've been following my latest videos and the fact that I've kind of discontinued, for the most part, doing MBTI videos, 16 personalities. It is true, but it's not. I wouldn't say I completely agree with it, so maybe just like generally agree. If we're talking in a general sense and not YouTube. If we're talking about YouTube, yes, it would be most definitely like strongly agree. So I'm so tired. I'm sorry. You're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Yes, always. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. Yeah. Usually if there's it's funny because sometimes whenever I'm doing like a group project, people sometimes bring up, hey, you got all these good ideas, and you know, if you were in charge, I feel like things would run a lot smoothly. And I guess a part of that is true, but I don't think I'm really assertive enough to be in a position of authority or leadership. It's kind of an optical thing, like the way I hold myself doesn't really speak like leadership or authority or anything like that. I'm usually more chill, and I would kind of prefer somebody else to do like the directing, while I'm more of like maybe the strong supporting role, or maybe like the think tank in a group. So you're definitely not an artist. I was about to say artistic. Artistic. Where the hell do I come up with this? You're definitely not an artistic type of person. No, I'm definitely very artistic. Yes. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? That's a variable. Kind of depends, but yeah, a little bit, yeah. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax? Yes. If there's something I need to do, I get right on it. Because if I have like tasks I still need to finish, it's not going to cause me, or it's going to prevent me from like relaxing if I know there's still stuff to be done. So I'd rather jump on it immediately. That way I can have that peace of mind when I finally just like lay down or do something casual. So you enjoy watching people argue? Not generally, but if they're arguing over something serious, no. But if they're arguing over something stupid, yes. So gonna have to go with the middle. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Well, I mean, I am doing this, so I'm not exactly avoiding it. But if I'm out in public, yeah, I don't want to like draw attention to myself, you know, just being myself. But now if I'm doing something like YouTubing, obviously, or if I'm doing like a performative art, yes, I would like, some attention, some audience, some people there to like watch what I'm doing. So I guess I'll have to go with slightly agree. Yeah. Your mood can change very quickly. Not really. Like I'm feeling kind of like nervous right now, obviously, and right after I'm done with this, that feeling is still going to kind of persist for a little bit before it kind of like shifts. Now, if I'm in like a calm sort of, or when I'm angry rather, I'm not angry for like too long. I tend to like get over stuff rather quickly, but as far as like what the question is, your mood can change very quickly. I can't just, I don't like flip-flop usually. I'm pretty steady with whatever mood I'm in, so. All right, you lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. I would like to disagree, but yeah, if people don't have their shit together, that tends to tick me off a little bit. You often end up doing things at the last possible minute. Yeah, I mean, not that I want to, not that I intend for that to happen, but I'm a guy who thinks he has more time than he really has, and especially when it comes to showing up for work, I usually show up like a minute or two before my shift starts, so I kind of like to cut it close. Well, I don't like to cut it close, I kind of do cut it close. So, you have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Yeah, it kind of keeps me up at night. You usually prefer to be around others rather than by your own. Or rather, on your own, sorry. No. Have to slightly disagree. Really depends on the people. Normally, I'm fine I'm in solitude just being by myself. But, if I'm with my friends or maybe eventually you guys, because obviously I'm a little nervous right now because there's like 10 or so, maybe even more people I haven't checked out watching this right now. It just takes time. I bet you guys are beginning to see the contrast between me in real life and the persona I come across in my videos. So this is why I like to script things out, because usually if I have to do things on the fly, if I have to talk, I get a little scatterbrained, so. Okay, how long? Okay, 52%, and I still got like 3 more tests to go, so I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. No, I like talking theoretical stuff. I like to get deep in subjects. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. Depends on the experience, so neutral. Usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. Postpone finalizing decisions. Yeah. I'd say so. You rarely second guess the choices you have made. Disagree. I always second guess. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is what you need. It depends on the lively social event. If it's with friends, yeah. If it's something else, I don't know. But I don't know. When it comes to like going out to dinner or going to a new place or just like, I don't know, just going to somebody's house or whatnot, I do like that. So slightly agree. You enjoy going to art museums. I actually haven't been to an art museum in a long time. Depends on what kind of art is displayed. If it's like a film exhibit, yeah, I would like that. If it's like art as in sculptures and paintings and stuff like that, I guess it depends. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Sometimes, but most of the time, I'm pretty empathetic with somebody's emotions, like especially if it's like particularly strong, like if something bad happened to them or if they're like crying or I just find it easy for myself to like put myself in another person's shoes, especially if they're like, if the emotions, if the feelings are so strong, I can feel it, and in a way I can kind of understand. So I wish I can explain it better, but like I said, I'm nervous and tired, and that's not a very good combination. So you like to have a to-do list for each day. Yeah, slightly agree. You rarely feel insecure. I want to strongly disagree, but I don't think I feel insecure all the time. It's only like sometimes. So let's do like regular disagree. You avoid making phone calls. Yeah, I usually like to text. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. Yes. It's very good that we understand other people's perspectives. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. No. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Yes, most definitely. When I actually follow through with the plans, yes. You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Yeah, kind of. Not taking those film internships. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. No, I think about that every single damn day of the week. Your emotions control you more than you control them. No, I have a pretty strong rein on my emotions, so. You take care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even if it's like completely, if they're like the asshole in a situation, even if they're like the complete utter jackass in the situation, I'm always kind of like, I mean, hopefully you're aware of that, but I don't want to make you feel worse than you already do, hopefully, if you are feeling bad, which you should. I don't know, I try to be as like mellow as possible. I usually like to kind of de-escalate the situation wherever I can, so. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Yes, agree. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Yeah, kind of. There's another burp for someone who's keeping count. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Yes. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I guess it depends on the philosophical question, but no, I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's good that we, talk about the wonders and mysteries of life. So, you feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate ones. It depends on the busy, bustling place and the quiet, intimate place, so neutral. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. A little bit. There's some people that kind of trip me up a little bit. You often feel overwhelmed. Not lately, but I used to feel very overwhelmed. So I'd say... Let's do agree. You complete things methodically without skipping over steps. Yes. Usually if I'm doing something, I'm a guy that likes to do things by the book. So like at my new job, you're supposed to like sign in people. I'm a security receptionist at a pretty well-known auto manufacturer here. Well, that's global. Well-known global auto manufacturer. I don't want to say the name, but for privacy reasons, but it's pretty well known, and I check in people all the time. I check their badges and whatnot. And usually I like to be as meticulous and detailed as possible whenever I, just doing the job. I keep all the papers as organized as possible. I like to double check things. So I go step by step by step, and I just don't cut corners, because I feel like if you cut corners, that's just gonna get you in trouble eventually. So you are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. It depends on the opportunity. If it's like an opportunity to, like, you know, I don't know, have like a better job than the one I have now, I mean, I would probably take it. But I don't know. It's another one of those things that kind of depends. You struggle with deadlines. Struggle with deadlines. No, yeah, yes, no, no, yes, yeah, no. Okay, a little bit. You feel confident that things will work out for you. It depends. Yeah. Okay, we're at the end of the test now. Let's see what my results are. What's my gender? Well, I'd like to think of myself as a guy, I guess. INFJT. Okay, so I'm an INFJ according to this test, but like I said, I have my problems with this test. I don't think it really takes into consideration, you know, the cognitive functions and whatnot. So I guess for the record, just for the record to show, I'm an INFJT according to 16 personalities. So now that I got that done, let's go to the ones I like a little more, which is this one, keys to cognition. And keep in mind, I have taken these tests before, 2 of these. There's one I haven't taken yet, but it's been like a while. So maybe my results will be different. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, 48 questions does not seem too long. You're getting some cats, Alex? Okay, I'll see you later. Apparently my friend Alex is getting cats. Wait, getting some cat? You're getting more than one cat? You're getting 2 cats. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I had to respond to that. A tuxedo one and an orange. Oh, I'd have to come over sometime to take a look at them. I love kittens. They make me happy. And little puppies and little things. They're cute. I like them. So. All right. Cognitive process. Whatever. Let's just get started. So it's on a not me to exactly me spectrum. So awesome. I can use the tab button. That'll help me kind of speed through this. Yeah, for those of you just joining, which might be like 1 or 2 of you, reason why my voice is raspy is, like I said, I probably have vocal polyps, so it sucks. Not like my voice has been the most smooth anyways, so it's always been kind of monotone. All right. Freely follow up gut instincts and exciting impulses as they come up. Yeah, somewhat. Offer various unrelated ideas and see what potentials they might suggest. I do brainstorm a little bit, but I wouldn't say mostly, maybe somewhat. Determine success by measurement or by other objective methods such as time taken. Yeah. Feel inclined to be responsible for and taking care of others' feelings. I guess somewhat. Experience a premonition or foresee the distant future. Yep. You can call it like manifestation or something, but for some reason, I usually have a pretty good idea of how things like end up. Oh no, I can just see it. Notice whether the details in front of you match what you're accustomed to. Yeah, mostly, yes. Be guided by a definition, logical deduction, or other negative reasoning. Yep. Feel strongly that something's good or bad. Somewhat. Sometimes I don't know what's good or what's bad until I give it a little bit of thought, a little bit of time, so. Compassionately take on someone else's needs as your own. Actually, yeah. I mean, if somebody needs something, I'm usually like, okay, well, I'll get that done for you, no problem. Except if it's my sibling, then I just get a little irritated. I'm just like, all right, Kelsey, I'll do this for you, but I'm going to be passive-aggressive about it because you're my sister. Construct an argument to convince someone using evidence clearly in front of both of you. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. If you're arguing and there's something obvious that hasn't been considered, I would bring it up, so. Achieve a metamorphosis, definitive insight, or powerful vision of change. Mostly, yeah. I don't really know what to comment on that. Yeah. Compare an experience against a storehouse of familiar experiences to see what's reliable. Yeah. Remain in touch with what you want for yourself and what motivates you and what's good for you. Yeah, sure. Apply leverage to a situation to solve a problem impersonally using minimal effort. Yeah. I better not, I think if I remember with this test, if you, do too many of the same type of answer, then it's just going to bring up, like, unknown or something like that, so I'll try to be a bit more accurate. Enjoy the thrills of action, physical experiences in the present moment. Honestly, when I'm in the moment and I'm enjoying myself, if I'm like on a ride or something, or if I'm listening to music, hell yeah, I do enjoy like physical experiences, and yeah, they're awesome. Whether it be exciting for a good reason or a bad reason, I'd say I do enjoy like the thrill of it, if that makes any sense. And if it doesn't, I'm going to reiterate, I'm tired. Enjoy playing with random interconnections and patterns. Random interconnections and patterns. Somewhat, I guess. Recognize and usually adhere to shared values, feelings, and social norms just to get along. Just to get along, to get along is key, and yeah, that is mostly me. Conceive of a comprehensive plan to maximize progress towards multiple goals at once. Yes, I will conceive the plan. Am I going to actually follow through with it? Probably not. Freely enjoy doing what you want out of your own personal happiness. Yeah. I do what I want because I want to. Okay? Concisely reference multiple frameworks at once while solving a problem. Yeah, mostly me. Gain a profound realization from a mystical state or sudden release of emotions. Okay, yeah, mostly. Follow steps to ensure tasks are predictable and completed correctly. Yes, mostly me. Okay, too many mostly me's, but... Engage life's magical moments and meaningful coincidences as they happen. Oh, yeah, mostly me. Okay. Quickly move to take advantage of immediate options for actions. Somewhat. Always remain true with what you want for yourself and others. Somewhat. I'm not always like, oh, you're not being true to yourself or whatnot. I'm usually... No, I'm not that picky about, like, what's true for others or what's true for myself, because I don't know. Analyze and critique what doesn't fit with a well-defined principle. Yeah, mostly. Review a lot of information over time to confirm what is customary or what is standard. Somewhat. Feel attracted to the symbolic, archetypal, or mysterious. Yes, most definitely. Instantly read visible cues just to see how far you can go. Yeah. Like I said, ADHD, so if something like catches my eye, I'm usually like, oh, Just like looking around, like following like a freaking bird or a squirrel. I don't know. Keep following tangents and new ideas without limiting yourself to one. Yes. Follow a straight line of reasoning. Somewhat. Help make people comfortable by engaging in hosting and caretaking. Somewhat. Like if you come over to my house, sometimes I'll forget to ask if you need like water or food or something, so. Lay out methods for others to complete tasks in a time and resource efficient way. Well, going back to the whole leadership thing, it's not really my forte, so. No. Little me. Readily communicate personally to all members of a group to feel unity. That's going to depend on the group, so somewhat. Fine-tune a definition or concept to support theory, perspective, or framework. Mostly me. Well, that used to be me when it came to 16 personalities. So, evaluate what is worth believing in, most importantly, to who you are inside. Somewhat. Weave into the current dynamics of a situation aspects of other random contexts. Somewhat. Yeah. Spur action and pull off results simply by making your presence felt. Yes, simply by me being here, shit's gonna get done. It's a weird question. See, that's the problem with a lot of these questions is really depends on the situation. So somewhat, yeah. Transform yourself by focusing inward on a specific way you foresee yourself you'll need to be. Exactly. Usually if there's like an important event coming up or if it's, something to that nature, I usually kind of look within, see what, how I will need to act, what frame of mind I'll need to be in order to fully be functional in the situation. Unlike how I am now. So fulfill the same regular work or activity every day at a comfortable pace. Yes. Merge and feel intimate oneness with other people. Intimate oneness. Are we feeling intimate oneness right now? I like to think we are. Somewhat. Stick to making decisions based on impersonal measures such as points earned. Somewhat. Continually examine if choices harmonize with important beliefs. Somewhat. I mean, sometimes I've done some things that don't really ring true to me. Thinking back in hindsight, so. And as we know, hindsight's a bitch. Yeah, it's so weird doing this, just the idea of streaming, because there's like 8 or so of you right now. No, 6, 33, whatever the number is, 32. And yet I'm just sitting in my room right now. It's dark except for this lamp right here. It's like I'm alone, so I don't really feel like the pressure of like presenting myself to people. It's a very weird feeling. It's like I'm just talking to myself. And also, I'm not ignoring the chat, by the way. I'm looking over here to see what you guys are talking about because I'm kind of focused on taking the test right now, but at the same time, I am streaming and I do have to engage with the audience, so... Alright, back to the test taking. Take apart something to figure out the principles on which it works. Yeah, I'd say that's mostly me. I usually like to, especially when it comes to film, personality related stuff. I like to take things apart, piece by piece to figure out, like, how it works, how the cogs move, how one thing leads to the next. Yeah, I'd say that's how my mind operates. So, and I guess I gotta push the mic a little closer to me because I'm mumbling now, and that tends to get on people's nerves. Push your mental limits to complete an array of innovative achievements. Somewhat. Point out discrepancies between how things are and the way they have always been. Somewhat. Trust what emerges from brainstorming. Now, you guys are going to be surprised. Somewhat. Sometimes I brainstorm just the craziest shit that I don't end up actually following through with, so. Sometimes I just slap some ideas on the whiteboard, and then I go back to them the next day, and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? This is not going to work. So. Easily get in sync physically with people and things around you. It's going to depend on the things, and it's going to depend on the people, so somewhat. Sex. I'm not female. Age 20, 25. So if you were to tell me my mental age right now, it'd probably be like 8 years old, because I just want to go to sleep. Which of the following best represents your background? Do I have to answer this question? No. Okay, no. I'm guessing I don't have to fill this out, but I think, I'm just going to put down like random shit, because if I remember last time, if you don't put down like all this crap down here, the demographic data, then it refreshes the page and it doesn't save any of your answers. So, and I do not want to go through all of that again with y'all. I think I've wasted enough time. So, do you know your MBTI code? No, that's why I'm here. What's my ethnicity in North America? It represents upbringing. North America, sure. What is it? The forum or website that brought me here. Yeah, whatever. Okay, submit. Okay, so there are my results right there, and I got INFJ again, and these don't fit well to consider these. ENFJ, so it's INFJ, and then the next ones would be ENFJ and ISTP. That's interesting. So anyways, that's my result right there, if you want to like let me zoom in on that. For y'all's digestion. Can take that in, and then we'll go to the next one. And if I remember, the next one is like infinitely shorter, so. Oh my god, how long have I been streaming? It feels like I've only taken like 15 minutes, but. If I've been kind of like dragging this out, I apologize. Because I'm going to mention for like the 5th or 6th time already, I'm not in the most active of mindset. So, and not to mention, it's very dark in here, and this lamp being the only light, it's kind of like messing with my, messing with my mood, Are you one of us? Well, if you're referring to human beings, yes, I am one of you. Oh, INFJ. Well, so far, I guess, but I mean, thing about these tests and like, well, personality tests in general, 16 personalities in particular, is they kind of just give you an idea of like what your personality type might be, but it's not like a definitive, yes, this is your type. Because if you really want to know that for sure, like if I really wanted to know what my type was, I would go to like a certified MBTI practitioner, and yeah, he or she might give me like a bunch of tests to take, but if you want to know what your type is for sure, it's going to take like longitudinal study, observations of like your daily patterns and things like that. It's not just a simple choose an answer from this scale. So yeah, ENTJ and ENFJ are actually from what I've looked up recently, they are they've become more rare than INFJ. So I'm actually not shocked by that, because I just think maybe more people are becoming introspective, using that introverted intuition. The more, you know, the more the world goes to shit, the more we, kind of think about things. So, yeah. Sorry if you guys were thinking I was going to say something smart right there. Nah. I was trying to think of something very profound I could say about the world, but no, my mind's pretty much poop right now, so. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I have to retract what I said. I'm not implying that life isn't good, because that's subjective. Each era of humanity is going to have its ups and downs, its own trials and tribulations. So just with all the crap happening right now, social media stuff, the war, and social media pretty much, with its algorithms just chucking like irrelevant shit at us like constantly, it's just kind of leaves us in a very confused and existential state, if you're following my train of thought. Yeah. The spotlight is on me to say something smart right now. Again, I apologize for my non-coherent sentences right now. So I'm actually going to try to do more of these streams when I start streaming myself gaming and whatnot, and doing other things. That way I get more used to it, get used to, talking and having a better, like, more coherent stream of consciousness, rather than me just blabbering on about crap just to fill in the time. So anyways, you guys have seen this. I'm sure you can take a screenshot of it if you're like interested. INFJ, yada yada yada, ENFJ, ISTP. Let's move on. Thank you. Well, that's me. I like to beat myself up all the time. It's because I hold myself to pretty high standards, so. All right, so this is IDR Labs. Really like this site. Used to go to it a lot if I wanted to find out what celebrities like personality types were. Like, here's Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein. All right. Alrighty, question 1 of 48. Just gonna position the cursor right here. That way I can just be like answering all the questions. I can discuss theory for hours. It doesn't have to lead anywhere as long as the discussion is erudite. I'm sorry, I have to look up the definition of that. Having or showing great knowledge or learning. But yeah, I mean, I like discussing. I'm beginning to sound like Sean Connery. I love discussing theory. Yeah. I appreciate and usually adhere to social norms like politeness and proper forms of address. Yes, I do. I can get really annoyed when people act inefficiently instead of having their act together. That is true. but I guess it depends on the situation, so that's my cop-out. I'm not bothered by conformity or the conventionality of suburban life. I mean, I do think suburban life is kind of boring, and as for like having lived in suburbia for most all my life, yeah, it can get very monotonous and boring, but at the same time, there is kind of comfort, and just there is comfort where I'm living right now, where I'm at, so I guess no, I guess I'm not bothered by it. Now, would I want to live in the suburbs for the next place I move? No, I'd probably want to go to a bit more of an urban setting because there's more stimulation, more stuff going on, more opportunity. But I mean, if I had a family, some kids, and I needed to settle down, yes, I would probably think of moving to the suburbs. Yeah, it's more important to assess whether what someone says is fair and correct than to be sympathetic to where they're coming from. Guess it depends on the situation, so neutral. It is important to leave society to the next generation that is just as good or just as good. It's important to leave a society to the next generation that is just as good as... I think that's a typo. There's not supposed to be an as. Actually, no. It can be phrased like that. What am I saying? Blah. Just as good as or better than the one we inherited. Yes, I think that's very important. You know, we had this saying back when I was in high school theater, whenever we had to clean up after ourselves to leave whatever area we're at better than where we found it. And I think that's a good rule to live by. I generally finish every major project that I start. No. I usually just leave something hanging because I might get bored of it. But to be fair, that might seem like an extroverted, intuitive take right there to not like finish something. And I think the reason why I'm scoring, I might be an INFJ, even though a lot of the traits I've exhibited throughout my videos and now might scream, oh, I'm an extroverted intuitive. You also have to consider, like I mentioned, I have ADHD, so, you know, I might start the day intending on doing this or with a certain mindset, but then my ADHD kicks in and then I get like distracted and all of a sudden everything's just all scattered. So, and that can emulate extroverted intuitive tendencies. So it basically, when you throw in like some sort of like mental, I don't want to say deficiency because it's not a deficiency, some sort of like other mental element in there with when considering personality type, it can get like very confusing to really like pinpoint like what someone is. So basically didn't settle on any type. No, I'm completely at first, I think in one of my first update videos I tested INTP, INFJ, and INFP. But since then, I'm open to like whatever these results give me, or I'm not really glued to wanting to be a particular type because there's a difference between wanting to be a type and just being a type. So, if I end up being like ESTP, ISTJ, or whatever, I mean, sure, I'll take it. I'll accept whatever result is assigned to me, and then I'd be surprised if it was like ISTJ or ESTP or something like that, but I doubt it. But I would graciously accept it and be like, okay, well, here are my strengths and weaknesses, and I'm going to use this to discover more about myself and see how I can, better myself. So, anyways, back to the test. I tend to present my case as an indissoluble whole that is more than the sum of its parts. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not one to overinterpret. No, I definitely am. I often maintain an impartial and personal attitude, even in cases where a more personalized approach would have been more suitable. Yes, especially with my job as like a secretary. You're supposed to sometimes have a very kind demeanor, but most of the time I just have this monotone voice, and I'm just like, all right, here you go, ma'am. You're checked in. Have a good day. I sound like I don't give a shit about my job, even though that's kind of true, not gonna lie. But yeah, sometimes I can sound very sterile, so. People who whine about the regimen of their workplace or the 9 to 5 routine should suck it up or find another job. I'm going to keep that neutral because it really depends on the situation. It is annoying when people dress weirdly or do weird things just to stand out. I mean, if you saw the beginning of the stream, no, but again, I'm just going to pull that again. It depends on what weird thing they're doing to stand out. So if they're being like weird in a jackassy kind of guy, yeah, I would find that annoying. But if it's in a quirky kind of manner, then no, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. But yeah, we'll have to keep that neutral. Things are what they are. Whatever we say about them is of secondary importance. Actually, even though I'm very like introspective and theoretical, I would strongly agree with that, because at the end of the day, just like the old saying goes, it is what it is. So. I can be fastidious about saving money and avoiding waste, even if I don't need to be. I used to be, but ever since I got this job, or even when I was on unemployment during the pandemic, I thought I was basically being handed free money, so I kind of just threw it at whatever I wanted. So, but generally, I guess I would kind of agree that no. I would keep this at neutral. I don't know what I'm saying. I spent recently, or I'm about to spend actually $200 on freaking Magic the Gathering cards, because me and Alex, who was just on here, are obsessed with Magic the Gathering, and we want to vamp up our decks for the next time we go to a freaking tournament. So yeah, that's our current obsession. That, along with Elden Ring, which I was supposed to stream. I told you guys I was going to stream that eventually, but it's a very frustrating game, to say the least. I was on one boss for literally 5 hours, and it took me 100 tries just to defeat it. So I'm just going to say this. Fuck the fire giant. I'm sure 99.9% of you don't know what I'm talking about, but I just want the record to show. Fuck the fire giant. So anyways. All right, people who think they can intellectualize everything usually have no clue. Depends on what they're intellectualizing. So, I tend to find myself agreeing with those who argue that a worthwhile ends justify the means. It depends on the ends and it depends on the means. That's the problem. I think I've already mentioned this before because I have short-term memory loss. A lot of these answers are going to be very variable depending on the situation. So, I am known for doing things properly and by the book. Yes, I agree. My own introspection and musings can keep me occupied for hours. Yes, I totally agree. I'm constantly forgetting where I put important papers and the like. Proper storage isn't my forte. No, I'd say I rarely lose important documents. I'd say I'm pretty organized in that regard. I have a whole thing of tubbies in my room I would show you, but I don't feel like moving the camera to show you because I have a very intricate setup right now for recording this, and my room isn't the largest in the world. every night I tend to knock into like freaking my lights and tripods and crap like that. It can be frustrating to be a YouTuber. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I'm constantly, of course, I already answered that. Blah. People who want to plan everything are usually at a loss for how to adapt. I wouldn't say I really agree with that. Just because somebody's a planner doesn't mean they don't know how to improvise. I don't think those things really correlate to one another necessarily, but it depends. I can never just stick to the task at hand. I always end up branching out and following new leads, possibly even leaving the original work half finished. Yeah, I slightly agree with that. I'm at a loss for how to conduct myself around hierarchy and authority. It's not that I'm even against these things, I just don't know how to process them. I'd say I fully agree with that, especially considering, as I mentioned, my line of work. Sometimes I have some very, like, high-end, very important people come through my lobby, like executives. Even the founder of said, like, auto manufacturer went into my lobby sometime, and I didn't know how to act. I mean, was I supposed to, like, bow? Was I supposed to, like, stand up and be like, good evening, good afternoon? It's, yeah, usually people of, like, celebratory status or my boss or supervisors. Sometimes, like this says, I'm at a loss for, like, how I'm supposed to be acting. I'm like, what do I do? I think it's mainly my social anxiety kicking in at that point, so I'm more interested in discovering how something works for myself than applying it to the understanding and affairs of others. Yes, I am a think tank. I am someone who spends more time fine-tuning definitions, concepts, or techniques than is probably prudent. Yes, I am. Especially when it comes to film work and, until recently, personality-related stuff. I can almost always think of something quirky and offhanded to say. Yes. Once you get to know me, if I'm like your best friend or something, I always tend to say something that might be quirky, that might be funny, or might be incredibly awkward. And, yeah, it's a mixed bag. If sometimes, it sometimes makes me restless that most things in life are variations of something that has come before and not really new. I wouldn't say it makes me restless, because I do believe there are a finite amount of ideas, and it's just that what we perceive as new ideas are really just old ideas in new clothing, if that makes sense. It's just a new variation of, like, ideas, like a sub idea or new color of idea, something like that. When expressing my disagreement with someone's views, I always remember to affirm the person behind the opinion. Yeah, I think so. I have a good awareness of my physical surroundings, and I'm not one to miss something that's right in front of me. Depends. Sometimes I'm, like, hyper fixated on, like, the physical world around me, or other times people can be pointing at something and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're saying it's, like, literally right in front of me? I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see it. I'm more of a realist than the people I know. It's fun. I'll have to go with a neutral response again. It's funny because there are half the people I know, almost exactly half the people I know, are definitely realists, are the ones that tell me, hey, your YouTubing ambitions, you need to just throw that down the toilet. That's completely unrealistic. Why the hell are you investing so much time and so much money into essentially this glorified hobby? But I also have other friends that are just like, they have, like, the wildest ideas, and they have, like, the wildest freaking plans and ways they perceive the world. And sometimes I like to call them out on that and be like, hey, yeah, that sounds batshit crazy. That's nowhere close to, especially when it comes to conspiracy theories. I have friends that are very into, like, conspiracy theories, and I'm like, man, this is such, like, wild bullshit. Like, how can you even entertain this train of thought? Those people frustrate me. But yeah, I'll have to go with neutral right here. Sometimes I find myself turning even leisurely pursuits like vacations and party games into tasks that are in need of rules and organization. Yes, I would actually agree, especially when it comes to something like, maybe not a party game necessarily. Maybe, yeah, some party games, because I love games, but I don't like debauchery when it comes to playing stuff. Kind of like when people like make their own rules just to want something to be, you know, funner. But I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Just, I like rules, stick by the rules, especially when we're playing D&D and I'm the game master. And when I say, hey, you can't roll for this initiative or whatever, you're not rolling for this initiative, okay? It's my world. You play by the rules. I'm the god in this setting, so. I'm constantly brooding over the essence of a problem. I can become quite obsessed in this regard. Yes, most definitely. Let's move on. I'm someone who speaks just as much to the values and moral faculties of others as I do their reason. Yeah, kind of. By the way, are you guys enjoying the music I put for you guys in the background? Because I felt like the environment I'm in right now is just too quiet, and I don't just want it to be my voice to like carry like the audio aspect of the stream. So yeah, I was typed by ENTP by 32 people, but that's mainly because they're probably just seeing like my quirky videos about the 16 personality types and whatnot, and the way I constantly bring up, I want to do something new. I want to try different, things. I want to do comedy. I want to do more gaming. I can see how people can interpret that as like perceiving and whatnot, but the truth is I've had those plans since the beginning. It's just when this channel with the 16 personality content took off, as I've mentioned before, I kind of got enveloped by that. I got high I got high off of the freaking subscribers I was getting, the attention, the viewership, that I kind of just continued with it. And it was only as of recently I kind of snapped out and was like, oh, I don't want to do this forever. I'd like to jumpstart this other plan I had initially set up and this other thing. So it's not like I woke up like one day the last few months and was like, oh, I want to do gaming. No. I've tried doing gaming before. That wasn't really successful, mainly because I didn't really stick to a schedule or type of games. And I tried TikTok, but I couldn't keep up with the... Man, TikTok just demands so much of you. Like, you got to do these trends. You got to... God. People have such short freaking attention spans on that platform. Even when I want to do, like, more intricate comedies, more satires, more top of the barrel stuff. No, people just want the bottom of the barrel, haha, hoo, oh, put in said voiceover, sound effect, and like punch to the gonads, fucking type humor, shit posting. I couldn't keep up with all that. It was just, no. So that's why I quit that. Yeah. Don't get into TikTok. I'm sorry. I mean, I was a TikToker, so I was just gonna kind of be honest with you. All right. Anyways, let's continue on with this. Being empathetic and kind to others is among the most important things in life. Yes, I agree. I don't tailor my message or mode of expression to suit my audience or the people I'm with. I'm kind of back and forth when it comes to this. Sometimes I'll be completely blunt and be like, hey, I don't feel like doing this shit anymore. Fuck it. And also I cuss a lot. And other times I'm like, oh, hey everybody. I'm just going to present myself in a very kind and wholesome way, and hope none of you guys get offended. I'm going to try to not offend anybody as much as I can, and here's, the soft side of things, Yeah. Somebody should keep a counter of all the awkward silences there are in this video, so I thank God that I put down like an underscore, so, or else it'd be completely quiet. And I'm also glad, you guys are chatting with each other in the chat room, so that you're not just waiting for me to say something. So you're not just waiting for me to finish these damn tests, so. Funny you mentioned Enneagram 6, because I used to score that a lot when I took the Enneagram, so. We made a server. You want to join us as well? I don't know. Gonna be honest, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm probably just gonna shut it off and go to sleep. So please finish these damn tests. It's late here. Thank you. I needed somebody to tell me, hey, it's getting late. You need to finish this test. Because I'm forgetting some of you guys are literally halfway across the world and it's like 1 a.m. All right. I naturally see the good in other people before I deliberate on their faults. Yes, I do. I have it in me to see people are not as introspective as I am as superficial. No, not really. Having my own sense of style is important to me, and my style usually differs from the ordinary standard of beauty. I don't really care about style. I literally just slap on a t-shirt and I'm done with it. I have often succeeded by being more audacious and daring than most. No. It is all fine and dandy to produce an insightful analysis, but if it doesn't contain a blueprint of action for it, its value will be limited. I'd say that's kind of true. I often burn with interest for a subject, only to suddenly drop it cold once it doesn't feel new to me anymore. If you guys know, yeah. Reaching the goals is more important than having a comfortable process. No, I like having a good process. I enjoy and am naturally good at saying just the right thing to help people feel comfortable by recognizing their emotional needs and empathizing with where they are coming from. I'd like to say yes, but I know that it's not true, so. When thinking about the history of past events, a flood of stimulating images tends to crowd my mind, yes. Back when I took like American history and like history classes and whatnot, when they were talking about the Civil War, or the American Revolution, things like that. A kind of movie was kind of like a kind of movie plays in my head, and I put Daniel Day-Lewis in it, or like all these actors in this film of my mind. So seizing opportunities as they arise is more effective than planning. Depends on the opportunities. I don't judge other people, and I don't concern myself with how they judge me either. Live and let live, I say yes. I could see myself ditching everything and starting an entirely new life in a new country with a new line of work. No. It is important. It's important to be true to yourself and honest with others about who you really are. Yes, that is very important. I often sympathize with the underdog in a conflict. I can't help it. I just, kind of. Well, there you go. Multiple results. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, here are the results, ladies and gentlemen, of this test. And then we'll move on to the last test, and then we will finally be finished with the stream. All right, you guys got a good long view of the results. Yeah, my introverted intuition and my introverted thinking are both tied, and my extroverted feeling is pretty high as well. Yeah. All right. Here's this last test. Do I have to put down a language? Okay, English. Okay, so this one is going to be like, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this out right fast before I'm done. Sorry if I held some of you have been holding some of you hostage on this Saturday night where I'm at in the wonderful country of the United States. Anyways, let's finish this thing out. Now, an important thing to note about this test is I've never taken this test before, so I have taken the other ones, so I am kind of familiar, obviously with the questions and whatnot. But this one, if there's any tests really to take note of, I guess it would be this one, obviously. So, all right. All right. You ready? Just going to blow through all these. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. You frequently have hunches or insights about the future that turn out to be correct. That turn out to be correct? I don't know if it turns out to be correct, but yeah, sort of. You're an excellent problem solver and have an incredible ability to analyze things in depth. Sure. You absorb information from the outside world without any additional processing. No, I don't know. You feel as though your insights often go misunderstood. Yes, most definitely. You're hesitant to strictly conform to social roles. No. You take on a subject with a burning interest only to drop them once they no longer feel new to you. I've seen that test. I've seen that question before on one of these tests. Yeah, that is true. You are blunt and straight to the point in communication. That's half true. I am kind of blunt, but I'm most definitely not straight to the point. You work through problems by yourself and detach yourself from other people to arrive at a conclusion. Yeah, that is true. Fake people bother you. Depends on why they're being fake, because I know some people that kind of put on a facade because of the environment they're in. If it's like a serious kind of abusive environment and they have to kind of be fake just to kind of like... I don't know. Stuff like that's just complicated. You always try to communicate tactfully with people. Yeah, always. You streamline existing systems for the sake of efficiency and productivity. It depends on what's going on. You place a great amount of trust in the mysterious and unconscious world. Yes. You have the ability to recognize others' needs. I don't know. You consider yourself a practical and realistic person, free from definitely not free from imagination, but I wouldn't say I'm completely like head in the clouds. So you express yourself honestly and authentically. Yeah, sure. You sometimes fail to adapt to a new data because it is not consistent with your personal understanding of an idea. Yes, that is true. If somebody comes at me with like new shit, I'm usually like, la, la, la. Such the intellectual I am. Awesome. You become stubborn and resolute in the face of opposition when it comes to your personal beliefs. Neutral. I don't really see myself like standing up for what I believe in. I'm usually just... If there's 2 words I've said a lot during this stream, it depends. So you're often the first to react to a question. No. You rely on external sources to support your argument. Well, of course, you need supporting evidence to back up your argument. That's only logical. You become upset when your care for others go unappreciated. No, not really. You relate present experiences back to past events, past experiences. Well, I don't know about that question because I'd imagine a lot of people, or most people to some extent, would have to relate present experiences back to past experiences, in order to solve a problem. So my throat hurts. You're a brainstormer. You offer a multitude of different ideas in a given situation. Sure. You are fiercely individualistic and pride yourself on your uniqueness. I really don't. Well, uniqueness. I mean, I do like my uniqueness, but I don't. I like being unique, but I don't care about being unique, if that makes sense. You understand a concept by logically recognizing and drawing patterns between different and already known concepts. Yeah. You follow a consistent routine. Neutral. You're described as stuck in your way. No. You come up with internal logical frameworks, theories, systems to describe the world around you. Yes, I do. You live in the here and now. Depends. You see the big picture in a sea of details. Yeah. You find yourself agreeing with those the ends justify the means. They literally took this from freaking IDR Labs. Neutral. You feel as though you are the one. You are one. You feel as though you are one of the only truly nice people left in the world. Absolutely not. There's actually a plethora of nice people in the world, and you people in the chat are some of the nice people in the world. Yeah. You care about the girl. Yes. What are you guys talking about? I don't know. I'm taking this test and like also looking over at chat, so I don't know if you guys are talking about what I'm doing or if you're talking about like another subject. How's it like in Greece? All right, sorry, I got distracted by. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never been to Europe, so I would think where Greece is, which is. I'm just spitballing this right here. I don't know if it's exactly like if it's near the equator or something. No, it's not near the equator. What the hell am I talking about? Okay, I don't know geography. Don't take. Just ignore that. Back to the test. You easily recognize internal bodily sensations and act to suit your body's needs. Yes, especially when it comes to stomach aches. You believe your presence is greatly felt in a room. No. You are drawn to the new, novel, and original. It's okay, Kevin. Yes, I am American. No, I'm not just an American. I'm from the South. That's even worse. You're drawn to the new, novel, and original. Sure, you are a risk taker. No, not really. You may be viewed as whiny and or depressive. Depends. You have trouble communicating with those who do not think like. Yes, I do. A little bit. You're skilled at recognizing whether the details in front of you match what you're accustomed to. Sure, you just know you just know things without being able to consciously put them into words. Most definitely. And I'm reminded of that one scene in Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter, when Snape's like, "You just know." You often use analogies and similes to communicate new ideas. Sure, you feel a strong sense of unity when communicating with others in a group. It depends on the group. You place a lot of value on details and past experience. Sure. A little bit. Sorry for the burp. I'm sorry for that. I think I've only burped like 4 or 5 times. That's a record low. Usually I burp a lot more. Florida? I'm just going to leave it up to y'all's imagination where I'm from in the South. You greatly... Well, I'll tell you this. I was born in Tennessee, and I did a video about my experience going back to Tennessee and taking something that I probably shouldn't have. And if you want to watch that video, it's on there. But as far as the state I've lived in most of my life and what I would probably consider myself, I guess I'll just leave that up to the imagination. You greatly value tradition and duty. Depends on what tradition and what duty.
So you value inclusion and try your best to involve everyone in the group. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, inclusion. Yeah. Why would I discriminate? I mean, if you want to be a part of something, you show interest, and you want to be a team player, sure, let's get you signed up. You may be viewed as fake and manipulative to others. I mean, I feel like sometimes I come across as fake, but as far as others, probably not. Because I'm very monotonous around others, particularly people I don't know, so being monotonous, kind of talking like this, being kind of blunt, kind of sounds like you're being authentic. So you constantly set yourself on goals and objectives. Yes, you may be viewed as selfish or self-centered. Sometimes. Well, it depends. You start many different projects, but you finish few. Yeah, a little bit. You exude charisma and are usually viewed as charming by others. No. Especially with that burp. You thrive on new and exciting experiences. I don't know about thriving, but lately I've liked some new experiences, so I guess slightly agree. You usually sympathize with others' struggles. Maybe neutral. You dislike change. Depends on the change. You prefer living in your dreams to living in the real world. Yeah. You have a tendency to go off topic in conversation. Sometimes. You consider yourself an organized person and take control of situations before they get out of hand. Depends on the situation, depends on what potentially could get out of hand. It is more socially acceptable in America to burp. I'm actually very curious about this. It always shocks me when you do. Oh my god, I completely forgot I have international people watching me. So, because usually when I burp, that's just kind of a quirk of mine because I have gas and GERD, so acid reflux. So I'm usually, for me, it's better out than in. But yeah, I do apologize if the burps are kind of like throwing you off. In America, we kind of just, I mean, we're not supposed to let it rip, but most of us don't give a fuck. So nah, it's okay. Wonder all you want to. America is a very interesting place to wonder about, especially considering our politics. Anyways, you generally work through problems with others and involve yourself with other people to arrive at a conclusion. Neutral. You're extremely objective and tell it as it is. It depends. You cannot help but get hung up on small details. Yes, somewhat. You have an excellent sense of direction, instantly know your way around a new place. Depends on the place. I mean, at my new job, the headquarters of said auto manufacturer, well, at least for North America, it's the size of a football stadium, and it can be very easy to get lost in. But I've actually gotten well adjusted to it, though. It's very logical the way the buildings are laid out, so. Well, I'm not in public physically, but I am in public in the cyber space. So, again, streaming, very weird thing. You stay true to yourself, sure. You have trouble communicating your ideas with people. Actually, yeah. I mean, sometimes when I come up with upgrades sometimes to most of the time whenever I discuss an idea. Usually I'm very incoherent and I talk about one thing and then this next thing and I try to glue it all together because while I'm talking about a particular idea, the idea is also changing, morphing into something else, Kind of like right now, I was trying to make like a very coherent point, but now I'm like changing the point mid-sentence, and so it starts to become jabbled, and you have trouble communicating your ideas with people. Point is, yes, strongly agree. You may be seen as reckless and unknowingly hurt those around you. No, I'm not reckless. I'm very straight-laced, so... You modify internal logical frameworks to account for details, and you sometimes find yourself reevaluating them when data is incompatible with it. Well, yes, of course. You're attracted to symbolism, mysticism, and the unknown. Yeah, they took that test straight from Keys to Cognition. You have an idea for aesthetics and enjoy the finer things in life. Yeah, I'd say I enjoy the finer things in life. You're drawn towards the abstract and often obsess over meanings. Yeah. You're able to manipulate conversations by reading others' body language. That depends. You do whatever it takes to win a debate. Honestly, I don't. Depends on the debate. Sometimes if a debate is not worth debating over, I usually end up just saying something completely stupid just to stop it. That just shows how much I really don't care. No, I don't have a Discord server. People have been asking me, hey, make a Discord server for this and that, and I don't know. I've never actually set one up. I might actually look into it now that people are expressing interest in joining a server, so I'll definitely look into that. So that would be interesting. I've actually never joined a Discord server that wasn't like a private one between me and my friends, so I'll definitely consider that. Yeah. Hey, we're almost done. Yay. You believe that arriving at truth is more important than winning an argument? Yes. Actually, most definitely. You often use metaphors to communicate new ideas. Yes, you may be described as ditzy or scatterbrained. Yeah, very scatterbrained. You often feel awkward and aimless during leisure time. Yeah. You like to organize things for pleasure. Yeah, I do. You have a tendency to see things as either good or bad. Depends. You have been consistently logical throughout your life. Consistently logical. That's going to be neutral. You may be viewed as meddling or controlling to others. No, most definitely not. You live in the present, not the past or the future. I kind of live in the future. You see the world as a bundle of possibilities waiting to be explored. Yeah, sure. You're aware of your surroundings and aren't likely to miss something right in front of you. If I answer this question, it depends. You see so many possibilities that you have trouble committing to a single one. As of late, yes, but I'll go with little yes, yeah. You tend to express sympathy only after you empathize with someone. No, it's not true. Even if I can't empathize with you, I'll still sympathize. So, you imagine things aren't directly connected to the real world. You imagine things that aren't directly connected to the real world. Yes. You greatly value social harmony and often go out of your way to maintain it. Yes. Generally, you prefer a solution be thorough before putting it into action at the cost of time. Most definitely. You rely only on past experience to guide you through the. Not really. You are unnerved by uncertainty and the unknown. Depends. I don't know how I feel about the unknown because it's unknown, so I wouldn't know how to feel about it anyway. So, you value truth and logic more than anything else. Yeah, slightly agree. You often arrive at conclusions that seem to come out of nowhere, and you relate to realizing answers. Hang on. You often arrive at conclusions that seem to come out of nowhere. You relate to realizing answers. Actually, yeah, man. Sometimes it's weird with me because usually if I have a problem, especially related to my creative endeavors, I overanalyze it so much that I get a kind of analysis paralysis, and I can't get any work done. But usually, more often than not, whenever I walk away, God, that was a fucking voice crack. Sorry. Usually, when I walk away from the problem and I do something else, all of a sudden, in some depths in my mind, the answer just kind of pops, and like an epiphany. It's very weird. So you explore things in depth purely for the sake of exploring in depth. Yeah. You would have questioned anything. I wouldn't be like Socrates annoying about questioning anything, but I do slightly agree. Yeah, I think you should question some things. Yeah. 4 more questions and then we're finally done. You find it difficult to concentrate on a single subject. Depends on the subject. Depends on what we're talking about. You try to help people to the point where you begin to forget taking care of your own needs. Not really. I'm pretty aware of my own needs. Yeah. You trust hard facts and data more than anything else. Yeah, sure. No, neutral, I guess. You have a strict internal moral code that comes from within, regardless of any external standards. Again, middle of the road as far as that. My internal moral code is a cocktail of my own epiphanies and realizations, as well as external factors like, external standards. Either way, we're finally done, guys. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, God. Before I submit the results, I'm going to apologize again for how incoherent I've been. As I'm going to state for the 1 millionth time, I am, as a matter of fact, tired, pooped. The environment I am is very dark as opposed to this light right here. It's like the spotlight's on me to be as entertaining as possible, but when I don't have a script, that's not really possible. Which is weird because I used to be a part of an improvisational comedy troupe back in high school, and I was pretty good at that. And I did a show also for an adult professional comedy troupe. But lately, I guess I've been rusty, so those elements are probably gone for now. But hopefully, as I continue to do this streaming, I can reobtain that skill. So, yeah. Doing great. All right. The neutrals might mess it a little. Yeah, that is true. Otherwise, let's drum roll. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's the highest score again. Okay, this is the highest score, it looks like. And this is the second highest score. And then the third highest score. Okay, so this one is scoring me as an INTP, but INFJ is still pretty close. And so is ENTP, so... That's interesting. So it's INTP based on this, probably because... So introvert intuition is the highest, but the two, functions that would be the first and the second of the INTP are pretty close, are like literally the next ones. So you got this at 37 and this at 34. But my highest is still introverted intuition, and that's rung true throughout all of these tests. So I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of data really to like narrow down. So I'm just gonna take this moment to turn my head towards my other monitor to pay attention to chat now. So okay. Alrighty. Yeah, definitely introverted, intuitive domination. Yeah, well, kind of. Kev is an ENTP, let's be honest. I mean, I could be ENTP. Okay. INFJ, this is difficult. Yeah, I'm a very difficult person to pin down. Yeah, back when I was in college, back when I took a theater course, I think it was it was an acting course. We did this exercise where we basically presented ourselves. We did a little monologue about ourselves, and then afterwards, everybody in the class kind of examined your personality. We did this. It was important that we did this as far as acting is concerned, so we can examine what little tics are in our personality, so that we can identify them as we're creating characters, so as to clear away those tics, so that they don't interfere with the creation of the character. Like obviously saying a lot. Like if I had a tendency to like say a lot as a character, then I could be criticized. That could be a point of criticism. But anyways, when it came my turn to present myself to the class, I presented myself as like, hey, I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything there is to know about me. And then I talked about where I was from, my likes and dislikes and whatnot. Yet surprisingly, and they filmed this, by the way, when we looked back at the film, I thought I was being open, but a lot of people were like, no, you seem very closed. You seem like a pretty like difficult person to read. And I found that very interesting because, I didn't seem that way to myself, but I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting. So the way you perceive yourself versus the way others perceive you. And that's definitely the contrast. You see a lot of that contrast with me, it seems. So I'm not surprised a lot of you guys are having difficulty figuring out what my type is. So yeah, I do hear that a lot about INFJs. It's because obviously we have that extroverted feeling function that kind of kicks in when we need to present ourselves in a certain way in accordance to the information that our introverted intuition is processing. So I think by that same train of logic, you could probably also say the same about ISFJs. Maybe I think it all has to do with that auxiliary extroverted feeling. So yes. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the chat right now to see what you guys are talking about. You really think ENTP, Andy? Oh, Andy, were you here at the beginning of the stream? Because I did something pretty interesting. Because if you saw the beginning of the stream, then yeah, you would definitely pick up either ENTP or ENFP. Well, I think you can just scroll back and watch it at the either at the end of this video, or I think you're able to during this video actually. Just watch the beginning. It's rather interesting. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I did that intro just to add like some sort of quirky, interesting element to it because I knew this was going to be like a very chill, kind of laid back kind of deal, so yeah, I think I'm going to go I'm going to keep this stream going for about maybe a minute or so more, and then I'm going to conclude stuff so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Saturday. When I took the test for the first time, I think the first test I took was Humanectrics, and I think I scored like, I don't know if it was INTP or INFP, but it was one of those two. I think it was, maybe it was, I'm not sure. It was either of those two. Thank you, Andy. Love you too, man. What's up with the porn music? Oh my god. Yeah, I guess it does sound like porn music. Oh my god. I just needed some music in there so it wouldn't be like awkward silence throughout me answering the questions. Love you too, Clubby and TP. Yeah, I can't unhear it either. Thank you. I'm glad you thought it was nice. So gonna flip back to my big face here. And now I'm just awkwardly staring at the camera. I'm processing how I'm going to conclude this video. All right, so I took the tests, got INFJ on most of them, got INTP on this last one that I've never taken before, so... And then most of the tests I've scored very high on introverted intuition, so take with that what you will. I'd say... I guess I'm leaning towards like INFJ as well because I used to score that a lot on the tests back when I took it. But I can see how people... I can see myself also as like INTP or ENTP or something like that. that those would also make sense as well. Also INFP to some extent. Yeah. The INFJ stare. Yeah, so I scored INFJ there, but I'll bet you anything the people that are voting me as ENTP and INTP on the freaking personality database probably aren't going to watch this video or take in anything about my real personality. They're just going to watch the quirky old scripted Kevin, because quirky scripted Kevin is most definitely ENTP, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. All right, time to wrap things up. So, yeah, I decided to do this video just because a lot of people have been requesting it, and because they've been curious and whatnot. And as I said on the post, I was planning on doing this video as a milestone for whenever I hit like 10,000 subscribers or I was about to say a horny 1,000 subscribers. What the fuck? Horny 1,000 subscribers. What the hell is a horny 1,000 subscribers? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up before I start saying more stupid things. Either 10,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers special. A horny 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, but seeing as I've mentioned several times, I've kind of lost interest with 16 personality type subject. I thought I would just do it now to feed y'all's curiosities, and so now I'm done with that, and I guess I'll let you guys know what I'm doing now. Like I said in my last channel update, the It's Just Kevin channel will be essentially a monument to the 16 personalities videos. I don't know why I did that. 16 personalities videos. Like, oh my god. For the 16 personalities videos. But I think I'm not just going to let it. I was thinking I could just let It's Just Kevin sit there and like decompose, but I think I'm gonna do like maybe more like everyday vlogs, about my life, make it interesting somewhat, because I haven't been creating lately, and mainly because of the new job and because I've been feeling slightly depressed over, I mean, not like depressed as in clinical depression, but slightly like melancholy about how the state of the world is, and like, I don't know, other things, but yeah, but hopefully after this video I can start making more videos, start drafting some scripts, drafting new ideas. I actually have a new idea for like a series I'm going to do for It's Kevin that I'll bring up in just a moment, but as for It's Just Kevin, like I said, maybe some vlogs over some interesting things, stuff on my mind, stuff like that. And I think that'll be good for It's Just Kevin, also considering that a lot of you came here for 16 personalities, because when you watch those vlogs, it'll probably better inform you on how I am, my quirks and whatnot. It'll give you a better idea of like what my personality is and what my personality type might be, as opposed to just taking these tests, getting these results. You'll be getting that longitudinal study, as I brought up. And so I think that'd be interesting for you guys. Now, as far as like It's Kevin, Gonna put my leg up here on my desk. It's 7 o'clock already? Damn, I only intended for this to take like an hour. And I promise I'm not dragging this out for like watch time or whatever. I'm kind of just free flowing this, you know. Now, as far as like, it's Kevin right now. Gonna bring it up right fast. Show you guys what's up with this, what to look forward to, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I can't watch stuff about, you know, that's the thing about the Ukrainian situation. We made a big deal about it for like a couple of weeks, and then, you know, sure enough, social media had its new line of bullshit that came up. And so the Ukrainian situation has kind of just been shoved to the side, even though it is still very much ongoing and very much as serious as we were making it out to be, which is very serious. It's fucking war. It's scary, terrifying. And is deserving of more attention besides the fucking, like, whatever to do with the Oscar slap or whatever fucking Ethan Klein is doing on H3H3 that comes up a lot in my feed. It's like none of that stuff really matters. That's entertainment. That's bullshit. It's made up. And a lot of that drama is very much manufactured just to keep your eyes glued to the screen. And what's really important is people's lives right now, and the potential for World War III. And I'm not going to manifest that, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's something that needs to have the spotlight on it constantly. I don't know what much more to say about it. It's just a very serious situation, so. It's definitely scary. Anyways, let me flip it over to my other channel right fast. 190 subscribers, not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone went to sleep, honestly. I know I probably should have started this earlier, but I had other stuff come up. And why is 9/11 in my feed? I swear I did not search anything that was 9/11 related. Anyways, this is my other channel if you're not subscribed to it already. Haven't really done much with it except re-uploaded all of my shorts, but like I mentioned, this is my main comedy channel moving forward, and besides these shorts and more that I'm going to draft up, I'm also going to do this series. Been thinking about it. Any of y'all active on Reddit? Any Redditors out there by any chance? Sound off in the chat if you're a Redditor or if you're active on Reddit. Well, anyways, I was thinking for this new series, people come up with the weirdest stories, whether true or not, on Reddit. And some of it's just the craziest shit I've ever read. And there's this one subreddit called r/am I the asshole, where they usually judge people on whether or not they're an asshole in the story that they write up. And some of them are just freaking crazy. There's also another one called r/, r/TIFU. Yeah, there's r/am I the asshole, and then r/today I fucked up. And there's usually a lot of interesting, weird stories on there. And even if you're not on Reddit, I think you might still enjoy it. I'm basically going to do like a reenactment of the freaking stories on there. And some of them are definitely NSFW, not safe for work. And there will be some cussing. But yeah, the stuff that they post on there, I think is ripe for like comedic opportunities. So I think once I release my first episode, you'll get a pretty good idea of what I'm going for. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Trust me. And then as far as my other channel, come on, hurry up, internet. Speaking of internet, has this stream been like... Shut up. Has this stream been smooth for y'all for the most part? Okay, that's good. Yeah, the porn music. Anyways, I'm also on this channel, which is also called It's Kevin Gaming, and I'll be streaming a lot on Twitch here. Once I get started on like Elden Ring and like other games and stuff like that. That's my Twitch account. That's where I'm going to be as far as gaming. And all of my Twitch content that I'm going to save is going to be stored here on It's Kevin Gaming. As you can see, these are all my old gaming videos. There's me literally encased in a turd. Man, that was a very fun chapter in my life, just doing gaming videos. But yeah, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be on It's Kevin and It's Kevin Gaming. So you can catch me over there. And I'm going to do some vlogs over on It's Just Kevin. I'm going to start, putting in more effort into my videos now. I have a job now, so obviously it's not going to be at the rate I used to put out videos. It might be like maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, but I'm going to try to put as much content and effort into those videos as I can. So, yeah, you guys can look forward to that. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining me on here. Anything else you guys want to like ask of me? Like I said, I haven't really streamed before, not with this many people. So if you guys like have any like questions for me or whatnot, feel free to shoot it out for in the next like 1 minute. Other than that, I think I'll just call it quits. So yeah, I'll be sure to put links. I'll actually put links in the description of the stream once it's concluded. So will we stream again? I will stream again, probably not on this channel, but you will definitely see me active on Twitch. So keep it going, man. I wish I could keep it going, but I'm really tired. I'm kind of just stalling this right now because I'm reading y'all's chat, like what y'all are talking about, seeing if you guys have like asked me anything that I might have missed or something. So well, thank you. Yep, I did intend it to be a chill stream. I think the next time I stream, I'll try to like amp up the energy a little bit, especially when I'm gaming. Because when I'm gaming, especially with Elden Ring, which I'm in the process of like finishing that right now, and once I'm done, once I enter New Game Plus, I don't know why I'm talking about gaming. Some of you might not even care about gaming, but anyways, once I'm finished with it, it's a very frustrating and hard as fuck game, by the way. So you'll get a lot of reactions from me. Once I'm finished with the regular game, there'll be a New Game Plus where I'll essentially just go through the game again, and I think on that run I will stream it. So I was also thinking about old nostalgic games to stream, like from the Nintendo 64, GameCube era. So that should be interesting. I'm surprised I was able to speak as much as I did with my freaking, I don't know, the way my throat is. Might be laryngitis, vocal polyps. I have no idea. Am I a completionist? When it comes to some games, yes, most definitely. When it comes to Elden Ring, there's a lot of content in that game. I mean, I don't know if I could ever complete that 100%. Oh yeah, I love RPGs as well. I think if I was going to do an RPG that's like very simple and chill, something that I know, I would probably do maybe, I don't know about Skyrim, because I think that's been done to death, but I might do like an old nostalgic game like Paper Mario or Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. I used to really love those back in the day. And plus I can do some very interesting voices because most of the characters, well no, all the characters' dialogue is just text, so it would be me reading from the text. And then I might do like when it comes Halloween or sometime like that, I might do horror games like Alien Isolation, maybe Amnesia. So yeah, speaking of grinding, that's Elden Ring in a nutshell. It's nothing but grinding. Yeah, I would definitely do Mario. Maybe even maybe Super Mario Odyssey also. Maybe well, I'd probably do Sunshine and Galaxy before I do Odyssey because there's a lot of stuff to collect. Never played Outlast or Kingdom Hearts. I might try those. Movie reviews. I mean, I don't want to spread myself as thinner because I feel like I've already spread myself too thin with the amount of content I'm putting out. But if there's a movie that interests me, I might do a movie review. I don't know. I used to do movie reviews back in the day because, you know, I went to school for film, so. All right, it is currently 7:30 where I'm from, so this is a great place to finally stop. Thank you guys for joining me. You know, my subscribers are pretty much the bloodstream in my YouTubing endeavors. Also, for those of you, which might be just one of you that are on Patreon right now, which I'll also link. Haven't put anything out just yet, but it is like $5 a month if you want to kind of support me. The money that you obviously donate is going to go directly to this channel for better equipment, better camera, even though the camera I have is pretty good. Just stuff like that, stuff to enhance the viewing experience. So I'll be sure to link that in the discussion. And thank you guys very much. And I will see you guys later, either on It's Kevin or It's Kevin Gaming or It's Kevin Twitch. So yeah, you guys take care. See you later.